it is a greater power than St. Clair, who could see into the next room.
Well, actually, it's funny you should mention that.
Is the next one?
Our next one was remote viewing with St. Clair.
I want to go to Mass, but I'm too sick to leave the bed. Whatever will I do?
I feel like at this point we could now have a saintly, a cheat sheet for how to do what you need to do and go to Mass with, multiple saints.
1, stay close to your guardian angel. 2, ask God to show it to you on TV before there's TV.
3, just buy locate.
So for those who don't know the story,
literally buy locate.
St. Clair is terribly ill and bedridden.
Yep. Foundress of the Poor Clares, very, very holy woman.
Was unable...
Friend with the Beastmaster.
Mm-hmm.
Was unable to attend Mass, which she desperately wanted to do.
And she loved Mass. She defeated a whole army by going and taking out the host and being like... And they're like, all right, we can't beat that.
Jesus.
It's a nun with Jesus.
Well, like, seriously.
Turn around.
What is the point of being a cloistered nun except that you have nothing else distracting you from going to Mass? Cloistered nun. But she was too sick. She couldn't get out of bed.
I just picture in my head where she brings out the host and somebody's just like, dude, she got her husband. Man, let's just go home, guys.
The Saracens recognize the mister, and they're like, jeez. She's it.
But yeah, so she's bedridden. She can't go to Mass. So what does a good nun do? Mm-hmm. She prays about it. And God says, well, you want to attend Mass? Well, here. Puts a vision of the Mass as it's occurring in the chapel on her wall.
Yes.
In the 1200s.
Yeah. Way before we'd even harnessed electricity, let alone built televisions.
Although I do love the Church's sense of humor, so that she is the patroness of television.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I constantly go between imagining that it was like the camera in the back, somewhat zoomed in, so you got the whole altar, or like an actual really good cameraman who was like doing the shot where like last Sunday they were 95% there. Mm-hmm. They used the picture-in-picture, so it was kind of half faded between the band singing and like the crucifix. Mm-hmm. But like I'm like, if you just make the band just a little bit lower, it'd be perfect percentage.
Mm-hmm.
Because then they'll be singing to Jesus, and now they're just kind of side by side. It's
there. Or if it was more of a wide angle, and she can be like, Sister Agnes, I saw you picking your nose during Mass. That was inappropriate.
That's not a sin.
Didn't say it was a sin. I said it was inappropriate.
But you then
use
ate
a hanky.
You then ate it, violating the Eucharistic fast.
Ew. All right. And now, to finish it out with two ones that Jess will really enjoy. First off, invulnerability to pain. St. Andrew.
Okay.
Are we talking like just being numb?
No, just like they really tried to hurt him.
The villain in Tomorrow
was just kind of like,
whatever.
Meh. It's nothing compared to what my Lord and Savior went through.
Wholly indifferent to what's happening to him.
Yeah.
I consider the sufferings of this present life as nothing compared to the glory that is to come. And Paul's like, ooh, I should write that down.
Which, as I understand
it... And Scott's like, that's a neat cross. We should put that somewhere.
Which, as I understand it, is the reason why they chose the X-shaped cross. Because apparently, it is really excruciating.
Punny guy, because excrucio is from the cross. Yeah. Well, plus those sons of Jonah, they just couldn't die normally.
No?
Crucify me upside down. Oh yeah? Well, crucify me on an X. If they had a third brother, who knows?
Do your worst. And
the third brother, if he existed, would actually be like the saint quote about how nuns' confessions are like being stoned to death by popcorn. It's like, stone me to death using these small pebbles. Just keep at it. Eventually, it will kill me. Put your arm into it, guys.
Just stone me to death with this bag of marshmallows.
You'll get tired before I will.
And And on that note, we'll finish out our list with everybody's favorite patron saint of stand-up comedy, St. Lawrence. They didn't burn him at the stake. They burned him on the grill. Strapped him to a gridiron and placed it over a fire. All primarily because he was a Christian and these were persecution times, and partially because when the Emperor of Rome said, "I demand,"
he had provoked them.
"I demand all of the treasures of your church. I've killed all your leaders. You may as well just hand them over." He says, "You know what?
Poke.
I can do that. We'll meet back here tomorrow. I'll go gather up all the treasure. We'll meet here." And I'll hand it over to you. Shows up the next morning with basically every single poor person in the entire city.
With the poor, with the lame, with the diseased. It goes,
"Here you go. They're all yours, boss.
These are the treasures of the church."
I have to wonder how he put them all in his sleeves because,
he was very good.
Deacons have sleeves because that's where you hid the money. So, here... have a lame person. Have an orphan. It's like a magic trick.
It's like a clown car. They just kept coming.
So as a result of his,
you see him a line behind, just like jumping through.
A very big sleeve.
As a result of his, we'll say, repeated provocation of the Roman Empire, they decided
one provoking.
We only know of the one, but I'd be willing to bet. There was an encore.
He probably invented the
Yeah, but as a result of his provocation of the Roman Empire, they decided to award him a prestigious new award, which was the gridiron. They strapped him down to it and placed it over top of a fire.
Oof.
And just let that baby cook.
And please God, when my time comes, if I could have the composure of St. Lawrence.
I'd prefer not the gridiron of St. Lawrence, but the composure, yes.
The composure.
Because after a while of having been on that, he said to his torturers, "Hey guys, I think you should flip me over now. I'm done on this side."
He's being burned alive, but he still gets in a quip. Hey!
Or at least according to myth.
According to legend. Not myth. Legend.
The Don Rickles of early Christendom.
He was short too.
Probably.
Based on history? Probably.
Given historical average heights for men, it has been increasing steadily over the years. I would say yes. Compared to what we would expect him to be, he was probably relatively short.
If we lived back in Bible times...
I want to say ancient Rome was probably like 5'7" for men, so yeah.
If we lived in ancient times, Nate would be a giant.
Well, yes.
Now he's tall, but...
I just gotta watch out for shepherds with slings. Fortunately, where I live, very few shepherds.
Well, plus you don't make it a habit of mocking the God of Israel.
No.
Again, Goliath provoked him.
Depending on how you read those Bible passages, all giants were Nephilim, so they were already at a negative.
Sure, but then he exacerbated it by mocking the God of Israel
and suggesting, "Hey, let's do a one-on-one versus a whole army."
Yeah, he brought this on himself. Yeah, let's do this. You guys pick one guy
versus your best guy. Let's go. So, that is my list of superpowers and saints who had them.
Ran because it's a different kind of Beastmaster.
Okay.
I was just thinking, in that story, does that make David a Hawkeye?
Entirely possible, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's perfect aim.
Mm-hmm. Or bullseye.
Well, according to the way that my mother sang the song, the first couple ones didn't hit.
Interesting.
I find that to be Protestant BS.
Oh, probably. It's probably entirely. It was.
I call heretical nonsense.
It was a fun little VBS level kind of song. Uh-huh. So I mean,
hey, just because something is kid level doesn't mean you can take liberties with the scriptures.
I mean, I will agree to a certain point, but he also has an aunt who insisted that she wouldn't show Veggie Tales because he wouldn't. They didn't tell the story of Esther by pointing out the incredibly adult things the king did to get to this point. You're like, she wouldn't serve them pizza. That's wrong. That's not what's in the Bible. I'm like, are you going to tell 5-year-olds what's in the Bible?
It's fair. It's fair. Fair.
Also because the people of Jericho threw grape slushy down on the Israelites as they marched around the city.
They could well have. Which
is ridiculous, because we all learned that Joshua fought the Battle of Cherry Coke.
Yep. So, on that note,
coming with a misheard lyric that you have in your growing up lore.
Your favorite sagely superpowers? Any that we missed? Any that particularly intrigue you?
Ones that maybe you think we need to go a little further in depth on.
Give this episode a like, subscribe to our channel to be notified that next time a plot is uploaded.
And until next time, remember to live your faith.
Love your faith.
And share that love.